Alright, bear with me a second.
Listeners, I think Liam's superhero senses just got triggered. And, I mean, he just literally stood up, walked out of the room, told me to wait a second. He's gone. Oh, the door's opening. He's back. It was quick. I wonder what it was.
Huh?
Let's find out.
What?
What was that?
I was just someone at the door. They asked if I wanted to sell the house, but I said, nah, I'll keep it.
Cool.
Housekeeping.
Let's keep the house. Very good. I hate you so much.
What? Also, why did you yell at me?
Did you just walk out whilst Ellie was...
Not while she was talking,
Yes.
just before the next bit started.
He made a shit joke.
So you just were like, fuck this, I'm off.
Yeah, I said, I came back, and I said that there was someone at the door.
Yeah, I heard the terrible...
Yes, unbelievable.
So Tom tweeted us.
Yeah, God.
Saying, where is it? Let me find it.
You're so unprepared in this section.
Saying,
every
my new
time.
favourite part of the show is the housekeeping intro segment.
Very good, which is why Liam's done this abysmal joke. It'd be funny if I just cut that bit out.
I don't know what you were saying while I was gone, obviously, but I look forward to finding out when I edit it for YouTube.
Yep, it's such a fun segment. We all love it.
I said Ellie won't like that. Ellie said I'm fine with it. And I said,
I don't know why you thought I wouldn't like it.
I thought you didn't like my different...
No, I just think they're weird. It's not that I don't like them.
Oh yeah, they're going to get weirder.
Yeah.
I've started actually planning them now.
Yes, that's weird.
Frankie tweeted us saying it's medicine for your nose. Neither of us can remember what that's about. I think it was something to do with you talking about having nosebleeds, me saying you can get like a nasal spray or something that is medicine for your nose.
Sure.
But neither of us can actually remember what we actually said in that episode.
No.
Which that's nothing against Frankie. That's us and our awful memory.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember what I did in the last 2 weeks for catching up with, so...
Exactly.
It's a miracle that I know I'm on this show.
Yeah. Amanda tweeted us saying that she's hoping we'll do the second 50 Shades movie for American Mother's Day. It's on May the 12th, by the way. She also tweeted saying, will there be a Captain Marvel special?
There will be.
She said, my family also likes to give cards that don't fit the occasion. Like for my birthday 2 weeks ago, my sisters gave me a card for a 3-year-old's birthday. So Ellie, I totally get where you're coming from.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Amanda. I still think it's lazy. At least with her family, they still are in the ballpark. It's still a birthday card.
But it's funnier when it's not in the ballpark.
No, it's just lazy.
It's not lazy.
It is.
A lot of thought goes into it.
No, none does. It's minimal effort.
Yes, a lot does. You have to, like I said
effort.
in the episode, you have to pick something that's still I'm not going to go over it again. Just go listen to the other episode, listeners, where I explained the thought process that goes into it.
Amanda also said, full disclosure, I'm still listening to you as I recover from surgery. It's a good distraction from the pain. And then Amanda did a little tweet, right, where she said, does
I
Liam...
feel like you're calling her out.
Yeah, does Liam know / understand what Ellie was saying about the difference between a cult and the occult?
No, honestly, he doesn't, and it's fucking annoying. I'm
right.
glad that someone noticed how annoying that is.
Okay.
When you're trying to have a conversation and the other person just completely doesn't get what you're saying. And then is willfully ignorant about it.
A cult can practice the occult.
Yes.
I understand the difference.
No, you don't. Because you still insist that they were a cult, which they weren't.
How were they not a cult? They had like the robes and everything.
That's not what a cult is. The robes and summoning demons, that's the occult.
No, the occult's all the weird magic stuff.
Yes, which is what them wearing the robes and we can't spoil it on this.
No, I know.
We're not in a spoiler-free zone.
I'm just saying,
we're in a
right?
spoiler-free zone. You don't understand. Let's move on.
No, a cult would be a group of robed people practicing the occult.
No. A cult is a group of people that have been brainwashed into following a leader or some sort of cause.
That's one definition of a cult.
What?
That's one definition of a cult, is people that have been brainwashed. But you can have other cults.
You think that my definition, which would umbrella in your like occult people, right? You think that my umbrella term is the one definition, just one. And you think if you opened the dictionary, cult would say groups of people organised together following like one specific leader or an idea.
Well,
and you think description 2 will be people in robes. Because that's what you said. I feel like you forgot that that's what you said. But it is people in robes.
There we go. A system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object.
Yep.
2.
Don't pretend.
No, 2. Genuinely
Really
reading
problem.
this.
Okay.
A person or thing that is popular or fashionable among a
Okay,
particular group or section of society.
Yeah, like an...
Like a robe.
No. No. Anyway, whatever.
I'm just saying, okay. Let me
So the
just
answer is
explain.
no, Amanda.
The answer
Simple.
is yes, I do. And I didn't like that thing anyway. Whatever.
That's fine. It wasn't, in the end, it wasn't even about whether we liked it.
No. Right, now it's time for the bit that I've been most looking forward to. I'm so excited.
Is that all the housekeeping?
No, we're still doing housekeeping. That's all the
Oh,
tweets.
sorry, you said it really weirdly.
Yeah, no. The part of the
Yeah.
the part of the entire show that I'm most looking forward to, which comes under housekeeping.
Yes. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
We had 2 emails from Frankie, all about Zac Efron.
Insanity.
It's so good. All right. So
I feel so bad, Frankie, that you've done this to her. You've
I didn't do nothing to her.
transformed her into this Zac Efron mad listener.
I can't help it if Frankie makes perfect sense and is maybe one of the few people in this world to make perfect sense.
In a way, Liam, you are sort of starting a cult.
Yeah, and we would wear robes with Zac Efron's face
You
on
wouldn't.
them.
You will get your hair dyed very slightly brighter.
Exactly. All right, so to start off, Frankie has warned us that this email will have a few spoilers. So she said that she figures Ellie won't read this based on Ellie saying that she didn't read the last one, knowing that I'd read it out.
Yeah. I want to be clear. The reason I don't read most listener correspondence is because I deliberately save it for this, where I can actually react to it.
So Frankie said it's fine, I can skip the spoilers.
Cool.
So, the first film in this group is Charlie St. Cloud.
Haven't seen it.
Of course you haven't. Right, Charlie St. Cloud. This film sort of came out like quite early-ish in his career, like after High School Musical.
Are you reading out the email, or are you telling me about the film?
Tell you about the film.
Right, read out the email.
I thought you might want some like
No, I don't. I just want to hear the email.
context. Okay. So Frankie said, the first film in this group is Charlie St. Cloud. For a short time, I had a work colleague into Efron, and she said how much she loved this one, so I figured I'd check it out, and also, I was curious to see him in a romantic drama. And I love cheesy romance every now and then. This film, definitely cheesy, and predictable, and not great, but I really liked it.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Also,
Films like, I've seen films like that.
yeah, also an Efron first for me, which Liam, I think you missed my tweet about it because it's probably the only one I've mentioned him in that you haven't liked or commented on. Which, when I read that, I did then go back and like it and apologise for missing it. But I do tend to, like, every couple of days, I'll check Frankie's Twitter feed and be like, has she watched any Zac Efron? And then I'd be really pleased with her or a little bit disappointed.
Harsh.
Yeah. But this film was the first time I actually kind of fell for him. The film has so many shots showcasing how amazing his eyes are.
God, you two don't fall into the trap, Frankie. He's like Zac Efron is a human trap where you get drawn into him and then you can't escape.
Yeah. And?
It's a cult. You're in a cult.
Also, it was pretty funny to have Dave Franco pop up in this, since Frankie had recently watched Bad Neighbours. Pity he didn't have more screen time. Also, she loved that one of the romantic scenes was running around a graveyard at night with just a candle in a jar. Frankie kind of wanted to jump into the film at that point. Overall, very nice. Then we get into some spoilers, so I'll skip over that. But she does say that this is like a comfort film and one of her top Efron films. So that was Charlie St. Cloud. Also, she does some more spoilers, but essentially what she says is that there's a bit like right at the end that she didn't really care for, and it was just like beyond her threshold for cheesy, and if she rewatches it, she'll just turn the film off before she gets to that bit.
Fair enough.
Since that had gone so well, when I came home tired from work recently with an afternoon free, I decided to go with another romance film and watch The Lucky One, which this one, Ellie, is...
Don't. Just read the email.
Do you not want to know what it's about?
No.
Have you not seen The Lucky One?
No.
So why do you not want to know what it's about then?
I don't want to know what it's about.
You might want to watch it.
No, it's fine.
Alright, so Frankie said that the synopsis sounded alright. Just basically a guy comes back from war and meets a
I hate
woman.
you so much. Stop whispering the plot.
Frankie said she was in the mood for a cheesy film again, but oh, this was awful. All capitals. This was take all the super cheesy things in movies and dial it up by 100. The only enjoyable things were being set at kennels, so dogs. Efron played the piano a little, and the scenes with him and the kid hanging out were okay. Rest was awful. Even Efron's acting. Frankie had to check when this was made, and she's a little surprised that it was a more recent film. You could compare it with Charlie St. Cloud in the kind of character he's playing, and she thought he was better in Charlie St. Cloud than this, which is a bit weird. Maybe it's how he decided to play being a Marine, because in it he's the next Marine. Go for a more stoic approach. And then she does some more spoilers. And yeah, she just didn't really like how it ended, and like there was like some redemption stuff, and yeah. So that was the first email. Then to be continued. Then Frankie sent a second email. Brilliant. I love it. Because what's better than one email about Zac Efron, Ellie? Two emails.
Email about
2 emails. Love it.
It's not where I was going to go, but okay.
So Frankie said, didn't really need to split these emails, but they were split, so she decided to stay with it. This one is shorter though. So, after the fail of the lucky one, Frankie decided to change mood completely and watch Dirty Grandpa. Have you seen that?
No, I don't particularly want to.
Let's see if Frankie can change your mind.
Just because I haven't said much for a while, listeners, I've got something that I just very quickly want to point out that Liam does, that I don't know if anyone else picks up on it except me. It's not a mean thing, Liam. I mean, you might think it's me being mean. It's not me being mean.
Yeah.
There is a certain noise you make, right? It's this little sigh you do, where you're exasperated. You go, ah. It's like but I can't do it. Like, you have an exact way of doing it.
Yeah.
And the sound it makes when you do that sigh, it does sound mean, but it's honestly not meant to be mean.
So everyone get ready for Ellie to be mean.
Have you ever heard, you know, when foxes are just out in the street and they just make that like noise?
Yeah.
I think it's when they're having sex.
Yeah.
You make that noise.
I thought their noise was a bit more like loud and aggressive.
Not the scream, not when they're doing the screams.
Yeah.
When they're doing like, they do like a very specific like,
Right, okay.
Honestly, every time you sigh, it sounds like a very distant fox making a mating sound.
I'm curious if our listeners would agree with that.
They probably won't.
No.
A lot of Americans, Americans, do you hear a lot of foxes? Because they've got raccoons. Do they have foxes?
I don't know.
Americans, let me know. Sorry, Frankie. I am paying attention to the email. It's just Liam did the sigh again.
Alright. I think you should watch Dirty Grandpa, because a lot of people hated it when it came out, and I loved it, and let's see what Frankie thought.
Okay.
So she said, this one I've been curious about for a while because it's so divisive. She was hoping that she'd be one of the ones who loves the film, but she's never sure when it comes to comedies these days. When the first scene had me laughing, I was pretty sure I was in for a good time, and yeah, this film was so funny, and I really enjoyed it. Great drinking game option in it for every time Zach says, what the fuck? Especially at the start. Made her laugh every time and was one of her favourite things in the film. Also, the clothes he was given to wear at times were great, and he gets to sing again. Also, I love Pam so much. Pam is played by Raffi in The League, and also he's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Jason Masazukis, something like that. Yeah, I know who I mean.
He's cool.
He kind of stole every scene that he was in. The cousin was pretty funny too. There are good supporting characters in this, and cast. Always love to see Aubrey Plaza. This film restored Frankie's faith in her Zac Efron project. So that's some pretty high praise.
Has she done that one about him being a horse rider yet?
No.
That might kill it.
Oh, that would kill it. I think she should save that till last, because that would kill it stone dead. That was the Derby Stallion, by the way. So now to Frankie's ranking. Before adding these films, there was a change for The Paperboy. Do you remember she talked about The Paperboy last time? And how she watched it, but she couldn't say she necessarily enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember.
Of course you do. Ellie is shaking her head in a no motion.
I don't remember.
So, Frankie decided that enjoyment trumped performances, and she'll probably never watch it again. But 17 again, she probably would watch again. So they've swapped place in her rankings. Now she had to say, I did hesitate before putting anything above Baywatch, which is silly because it's not a good film. And yet Efron and The Rock are so perfect together. I forget everything else because I love them so much. Had to remind myself to think about the whole film. And now, her current Zac Efron ranking. Are you ready, Ellie?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go ascending or descending?
From the bottom up.
Alright, in 8th place you have The Lucky One. 7th place, We Are Your Friends. 6th place, The Paperboy. 5th place, 17 again. 4th place, Neighbours. 3rd place, Baywatch. 2nd place, Day Grandpa, which puts Charlie St. Cloud as the number 1 Zac Efron film so far. If you remember, Frankie doesn't include the High School Musical films in this ranking because basically they're perfect.
They're too good.
Yeah. Frankie said, just so you know, the next update will include The Greatest Showman, which is one of the ones you've seen, isn't it?
Don't patronise me.
Oh, you might have something to input. You liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a good film.
There we go. It's finally starting to cool down, even though it's been autumn for over a month already, and so it's bearable to walk to the library. Have Greatest Showman placed on hold. Fingers crossed a copy will become available quickly. And a belated response to Ellie from the anime discussion. She has not seen Eureka 7, but she's curious now. Unfortunately, it's nowhere for streaming, but my mail order DVD rental place has it, so she's got the first disc, top of her queue. She'll report back. And that's it. Frankie says she hopes it was worth all the build-up. I think it was.
Yeah, it was good, yeah.
Don't know if Ellie would agree with that, but honestly...
it had anime talk at the end. That was a clever thing to do, Frankie, because you put anime talk at the end, so yeah.
Yeah, so
it was worth
it. So now you're like, oh, I want more.
Yeah.
So Frankie, the way to do it, about 800 to 900 words of Efron talk, 1 sentence of anime. That way you make everyone happy.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, no, to be fair, if you want to make me happy, then you need to do, like, if you end up watching Eureka 7, then you should watch all of it and then write a really long email review that Liam will have to read out to me, because that would be Liam's nightmare, is just reading out an anime review.
Oh, especially if you start putting in names and stuff.
That would be so funny.
You know, I can't do those sort of names.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do most names. I can't even... Yeah. Just... I don't know why I do a podcast. I'm not good at speaking.
Don't quit now.
On, what, episode 88?
Yeah, I think.
87.
You sure?
Yeah. Ellie Likes Robots was episode 86.
Oh.
So, 87.
Oh, yeah.
But that's also not factoring in all of our special episodes.
Yeah, we don't count.
Probably in triple digits.
Is there more housekeeping, Liam?
Nah.
Trick question. Yes, there is.
Nah.
Last time I asked, you had watched, or you had left to watch, 1,099 films.
Mm-hmm.
You did say at the start of this episode that it hadn't gone down very much.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 1,098.
Oh, are you ready to be pleased with me?
Is it 1,097?
Yep.
I was going to say that first, and then I was like, nah.
But it is going down because I've stopped buying films.
Not fast enough.
No, that is the problem. To hit the goal, I need to...
Yeah.
But Easter weekend, that's 4 days. I'm busy for 2 of those days, but that's 2 days.
Okay.
Like any other weekend then?
Yeah, you've effectively said there you have a normal weekend,
Yeah.
which you haven't been watching films on, so...
Yeah, I'm aware.
Alright. Well, 97 to go, Liam.
Alright.